But birds of a feather flock together. Your environment can overrule your nature. Yep. Your nature as a black woman is to be solid, is to be loyal. But if the environment turning you into other than that, man, I don't like that fire marriage. Cool, that's protection. You see what I'm saying?
What should the man's desire be? Like, is this a desire to find a woman, or just a desire to just be a better person?
The man's desire should be to become God. My favorite scholar, Dr. Wesley Muhammad, said, we in the Nation of Islam don't teach just worship God. We teach you are worship and following God to become God. All right, y'all, welcome back to another episode of the DontBeAViking podcast. Last podcast, we just talked about a variety of things. Make sure y'all go tap into that. Now we're finna get into this podcast about leadership. Now, once again, name, age, relationship status.
My name is Olivia. I'm 22 and I'm single.
Now, a good leader, do you think is necessary for the man to lead, or can it be either way? Either way.
It depends on the sense. Like I said, the worldly stuff. Or that's a good question. Let me just step back for a minute. Yeah, it's good for the man to lead. But you said I gotta know what a man, like what are the functions of a man? So I can't even answer that right now.
Okay.
Let's be honest.
So let's go over the overview of it. And you tell me if you agree or disagree. Without going too deep, the surface level, a man needs to know how to provide materially and spiritually. I know how to protect you, cause peace in really every way that I can think of. Like, I need to make sure you peaceful in the home. I need to make sure if you leave the home to get money, if you work whatever job you work, I need to make sure you in a position where you still able to maintain your peace. Just to cover the bills, if you got to go work at the warehouse, but you hate the warehouse, I have to figure out a way to fix this. Whether I make more money and you just stay home, or whether I help you actively look for somewhere else, or I help you cultivate skills within yourself to where you can lead a warehouse, start your own thing, whatever. Like, in every way, I need to create peace. So let me just sum it up. Peace, that's really it. So I'm gonna take peace off, because if we say peace, we don't gotta say nothing else. So let's take peace off. Provide, maintain, protect, nurture. We can damn near say this it. Now, with each of these, I think it's a physical and spiritual aspect to each of the four listed things. So if you say protect, I hate when niggas say, I'm trying not to say niggas. I hate when people say this and only think physical. Well, how many times you gonna get them in a physical fight for your girl? Not that many, bro. If you do, you tripping and she tripping, because y'all put yourself in unnecessary situations. You rarely gonna have to physically protect your girl. Protection would mean like the brother who told you to cover your wardrobe or change your wardrobe. That's a form of protection. That's a good brother. Protection would be, like we said, is you working in the best environment? Are you okay mentally? That's protection. Protection is, hey babe, like me and you trying to really build some. This friend is straight. I know this your friend. Like, I know you love her. She love you. I'm not telling you to cut her off for eternity. But maybe y'all shouldn't kick it 7 days a week. You say however you want to break it through, however you want to handle it, that's y'all situation. But birds of a feather flock together. Your environment can overrule your nature. Your nature as a black woman is to be solid, is to be loyal. But if the environment turning you into other than that, man, I don't like that fire marriage. Cool, that's protection. You see what I'm saying? So I think that's the sum of it. That's what a man is. Provide, protect, nurture, maintain. Cool. assuming this man doesn't know this, how do you think he should go about learning this? That's a good question, because it's like, do I go to Google? Do I go to the church? Do I go to the mosque? Do I go to my dad? Do I go to my uncle? Do I go anywhere?
Do you just gain wisdom? I don't know.
How do you gain it though?
Through experience?
What experience? Because look,
Relationships?
let's say, because I've been in relationships. Cool. So let's use me for example. I do not think I was as qualified as I was previously than I am now. This qualification that I have now did not come from me just constantly dating women. You won't know what happened when I was just dating women. I was doing nothing but, I'm trying to say this in a not vulgar way. I was doing nothing but just sleeping with women. Like, it was no learning experiences coming from this other than how to get better in bed. That's it.
So you gained the knowledge from the religion?
That's what I think.
Okay.
That's because this
foundation.
Yeah, because this how I got to the point I am now. Previously, it's like, I love wisdom, but what is wisdom? I heard a video on TikTok like 2 days ago. Brother was a Christian. They asked the brother, how do you feel about Muslims? Like, do you think Muslims like are living the right way? Brother basically said no. But you saying no, I don't got a problem with. You saying no and just talking out your ass and not knowing what you're talking about is what I got a problem with. But the brother sounded so intelligent. Like, he was putting his words together perfectly. Like, it sounded like poetry coming out the brother's mouth. And it'll really convince you. Unless you know better. Like, unless you know the knowledge on what he's saying, you like, it sound good, but you're wrong. That's what I mean by, like, how do we know wisdom? You would think if you didn't know no better, you would think that brother was wise.
Yeah.
He was wrong as hell. He just sound good. So being able to recite stuff, and do that make you wise? Do studying make you wise? Studying what? Because you can be studying the wrong thing. You see what I'm saying? So what would make you wise? This is how I got to the point I am now. I surrounded myself around brothers and sisters who are walking the upright path. Now I'm like, damn, what is making you walk this path? Like, because everybody know wrong is right, but it's so hard to walk that path. You see what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, what got you doing this? Get to studying the ideology of it. The ideology of it teaches you as a black woman and me as a black man are not only gods, because a god just means anything that got great power and force. In the Bible and in the Quran, it talk about don't be among the polytheists. If you put sleep and money over God, you are making those gods in your life. Sleep and money are not people. Yeah. It's just things, but anything that got great power and force is a god. So let's say, I shouldn't say that. The sexual pleasure of women is a god to a lot of men. I will skip work to go do this. I would stop spending time with my kid. I need to drop him off. I need to get to the girl house. So I am prioritizing this. This is a god in my life. So I'm learning that we not just gods. Yeah, we gods. That's cool. Yeah. I'm learning that we are direct descendants from the God. Yeah. We are directly intertwined with the God. Yeah. Now then, I'm like, okay. Now I'm learning who God is. Now I'm learning how we connected to God. Now I'm learning what's our capabilities, how we not limited or bound to one set thing if we are the gods. And I'm learning this and I'm like, oh yeah, like that is pushing me. Now I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't nothing. I'm straight. Like why? Because I'm filling my head with something that'll produce a different outcome. So I say the way I became better is by surrounding myself with men and women is better.
Environment.
And putting a different type of knowledge in my head. The knowledge I got now make me, not just suggest, it make me respect women on the utmost. Previously, I was just sleeping with women. I wasn't treating women bad, but you can still say I'm treating women bad if I'm just sleeping. You see what I'm saying? Cool. But with the knowledge I had at that time, it made it okay. You see what I'm saying? Like, we just do what we do. We young. Yeah. You say, damn, she fine. She think I'm fine. I like her. She like me. We do what we do. Cool. The knowledge I had at the time permitted that. The knowledge I got now show me when I look at you as a black woman, it's like I just want to smile, I get happy because I know you the feminine expression of God. You see what I'm saying? You come out through, you straight. Yeah, you come through. When I look at you, I'm like, I love doing a podcast. Why? Every time I have a conversation with a sister, I get the privilege for talking for however long we talking with the feminine expression of God. Cool. This the thought process I got now. At first, I'm seeing the sister cheeks out walking down the street like, I gotta get on there. Well, I have to get on there. Like, it's without question. Let me go see what she on right now. Now I see a sister wearing that, and I'm like, don't get me wrong, the sister still look good, but I'm still a man. You know what I'm saying? The sister still look beautiful, whatever. But it's like, now that I know who the sister is more, I know the nature of the sister, it rubbed me the wrong way because I'm like, you don't even know like how cold you is. Like, you ain't even gotta represent yourself like that. You know what I'm saying? So how do I feel like a man should get smart? How do I feel like a man should get wise, become a man, etc.? Environment, wisdom. Where do you get the wisdom from? That's a tunnel that I don't even feel like going down right now. We'll talk about that off camera. Where to get the wisdom from? It got to be somebody credible. That's all I'm gonna say. Your enemy is not credible, but how I feel like a man should lead with those four things. If he don't got those four things, don't got knowledge of those four things, that's how he should do it. Find the right environment. Start studying some different knowledge. Even if you studying knowledge that's not all the way correct, if you studying something better than what you previously got, you'll get better. So
what should the man's desire be? Like, is this a desire to find a woman, or just a desire to just be a better person?
Specify a little bit for me when, like, just in life, period, or before he find a woman, like, why he just single by himself?
Life, period.
What should be the man's desire? The man's desire should be to become God. My favorite scholar, Dr. Wesley Muhammad, said, we in the Nation of Islam don't teach just worship God. We teach you are worship and following God to become God, not just to worship him and keep worshiping him. You are trying to be God. You are not just trying to just say, yeah, I believe in God my whole life. Nah, you trying to see what I need to do to sit in God's seat. You see what I'm saying?
To reach that consciousness.
Yeah, even if it never happened, that's what you aiming towards. Jesus said, me and my Father became one. A lot of Christians got the interpretation that this means Jesus is God. They say, yeah, Jesus and God is one, and they say like, Jesus is the God. Yeah. No, Jesus said, when you see me, you looking at God. Or they make them really say, oh, see Jesus, God. No. If me and you together, and we together for 5 years, now I done put my brain in your brain. You think like I think. You
can't want.
Yeah. Every decision I will make, you know he'll make this decision. So if I leave, I go to a different country, I'm gone for 3 months. When whoever see you or talking to you, they talking to me. Simply put, we become one mentally. Jesus said, you see me, you looking at God. Cool. I am one with my Father. This don't mean that was Jesus is God. No, bro. He's saying, bro, I done empty myself out and filled me with God. Cool. So that's how we supposed to be, like Jesus. So when Christians say Jesus is the way, I would agree with you. How though? He the way by we supposed to follow his example. He emptied himself out and filled himself up with God. He was the walking representative, walking embodiment of the mind of God. Cool. So if you say Jesus is the way, that way, I agree with you, big dog. If you say, I got to come to church, I got to get baptized, I'm trying not to say nothing. I'm trying not to disrespect nobody religion. If you tell me to do that, you got it, gang. Like, good luck. I hope you figure it out. But that would be the answer I would have. His desire in life is to be God. What does this entail? Now you got to learn who is God. What is God? Just a spirit? Is God a man? Is God just within me? Is God without me? Is God within and on the outside of me? Is God a physical person? And I got traces of God within me? Is God a spirit and I got God within me? Is God nowhere else but within me? Like, all right, cool. So now I got to figure out what is God. After figuring out what is God, simultaneously, I'm going to figure out who I am if I came from God. Now I'm trying to see, how do I become God? That's what religion's supposed to be. Religion supposed to be a set of, if not influences, a set of day-to-day practices that keep you on the straight path of God, like trying to become God. That might look different for different people depending on their culture. What they have to do to get closer to God from their lineage history, what problems they've been facing might be different than what these people got to do to get closer to God. So it's not a necessarily one size fit all thing, but that's what religion's supposed to be. How do I get closer to God? All right, cool. Now, if that's the man's desire out of life, that desire don't change. Before I get with a woman, that's my desire. When I get with a woman, that's still my desire. Now, if the woman look up to the man, how it's supposed to be in a relationship, if she trying to strive to get where you at, she also is striving to become God. Cool. This is what I say about that. If that's his goal, if that's his desire, this is when I said in the last video, is grooming bad? No, because if I'm grooming you to become like God, cool. Now, what's the role of the man in the relationship? We know his desire. What do you think his role is towards her?
Did you say like protecting and leading?
Yeah. If that's his role, what do you think the woman's role is?
Good question. When you said nurture, I was thinking about that. I was like, ain't that the woman's role?
You tell me. What you think the woman's role is?
I feel like we're a good source of creativity. Inspiration. I feel like we know how to be saying cats are, spiritual and dogs. You ever heard that?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Nah, explain it.
They be saying like dogs are like the masculine and the cats are feminine.
Okay.
Like spiritual.
Okay.
Yeah. What is a woman's role? Nurture.
Okay.
Caring. Loving.
Okay.
Inspire.
Okay.
A good.
Wait. Inspire. That's what I say about that. I would agree if we thinking of it right. How is she to inspire the man?
Like give him a drive, like not give him a drive, but add to his drive.
How?
Just say like, I think I give great ideas to people. So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In that type of way, like business ideas, stuff like that.
Okay.
How you can do something differently or do something, new.
Okay. What else? It ain't got to be nothing else. If this is cool. So let's try to wrap it up in one word. I feel like the woman's role is she is the consoler of the man.
What do you mean by consoler?
Like
she keeps him.
She brings peace to the man. Now, you remember how we just said with religion, depending on the trials and tribulations and history of a people, their religion will look different than this people's religion. But it's all for the same purpose, to become God. Cool. If this dude been through X, Y, and Z, but this dude been through 1, 2, and 3, how this woman consoles this man will be different than how this woman consoles this man. So when I say the woman's role is to be the consoler, she should study and analyze the man she is with and see what do he need help on, what will make his life better. If this a dude, like a lot of women say, I can cook, I can clean. What if this a dude that I already got a maid? And what if this a dude that loves to cook? This his joy. He don't want you to cook. Like, he love cooking. I got an uncle like that. Boy, he'll cook a feast for no reason. Like, he just love cooking. Cool. So now, if all you know how to do is cook and clean, you pointless. I don't need you in my life. What can you do to better his life? Like, that's on a case-by-case basis. The woman has to study her man. And if she can't figure it out by just studying him, talk to him. If you submit it to a man, I hope he can articulate himself well enough to tell you what he need out of you. So ask him what you need. So for a woman to be the best woman she can be to a man, I think she has to be able to adapt. Because if you've been with this man for, let's say, 10 years, y'all divorced, so he died. Hopefully, I ain't wish no death on y'all, but something happened. Then you give it another man. This new man might not need you to do the same stuff you did in the last relationship. So being able to continuously adapt, and me,
that is a feminine trait, like adapting.
Well, I think I think adaptation is evolving. God evolves. God is the evolver. So I think if you a God and I'm a God, it's in both of us. Like, both of us are made to keep evolving, keep seeking the next best thing. So if the woman's job is to console the man and the man's job is to become God, I think now we working with something. Now we on the right path of I'm continually pouring into you, you pouring into me, and it's the right cycle. Without the knowledge, though, it's like, how do you console a man? You know what I'm saying? You would say, okay, what are the ways we can say cook for him? Okay, you can start there. Cook what? Do you know the science of food? Do you know your man's body? For example, when I was younger, I had eczema real bad.
So no sugars and stuff like that. Bread.
But look, I ain't even do that. I just was going to the doctor there to give me different creams, different lotions. And but it was like my whole childhood. Got older. I'm like, damn, why do I got eczema? You see what I'm saying? Like, damn. Then I started studying it. And I realized, oh, it's a liver problem. Okay. First, I'm like, damn, if I'm finna die, that sounds important, but it wasn't that deep. But it's like, okay, some is not going as smooth in my liver, and during this hiccup process is dispersing the stuff out instead of funneling it properly and cleansing it out. During that cleansing process, the toxins coming out instead of going through the right process they're supposed to go through. Bam, this is resulting in eczema. So I'm like, okay, liver problem, cool. If you the consoler of a man, do you know he got a liver problem? If you get with a man that got eczema, do you just think it's eczema? You see what I'm saying? Like, oh well. Do you know this is curable through food? Do you know this is curable through fasting? So being a consoler comes when you have to have a set of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? After learning, damn, I got a liver problem. Cool. Now I know, all right, I can take this herb. I need to stop eating this, start eating this. We'll do straight. Bam. One of the reasons I need to drink a lot of water. Bam. That'll help flush the liver out. Bam. I said, if the doctors, bro, I done heard all type of suggestions. Don't take hot showers. Take quick showers. Take a shower every other day. Now keep in mind, The doctor know I hoop. That's not even an option. I would be stanky as hell if I take a shower every other day. No, I heard somebody told me, you got to use Vaseline. I was young at the time. I did not know Vaseline don't got no healing property. Black people just use it all the time. Like anything work on our skin. Like we straight. Folks told me you Vaseline. Right. I done heard everything. Nobody told me I had a liver problem. A lot of the people I'm taking suggestions from is women. Damn, that's a problem. You supposed to be a consoler in your house. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I think. The woman should study her man. The woman should study her house, study her kids. After studying it, she should look for problems. And after she find the problems, seek solutions. Now she gets smarter. Day by day, she learned the X, Y, and Z. The man becoming God is also getting smarter. Let's say she's studying food right now. He's studying how to become better financially. Cool. As he make more money, guess what? He can pay for her because eating healthy not goddamn cheap. He can pay for her to go to the better grocery stores. They got less GMO food, or he can pay for her. Look, we're gonna set up a farm in the backyard. Bam, and she make more money. I mean, if she growing food, she making him more money. Why? He ain't got to go to the doctor, spend hospital bills and X, Y, and Z because he healthy. You see what I'm saying? He ain't got to go through chemo and insulin. He ain't got to go through all like you said. You want a dude that can help you spiritually. She helping him spiritually. How? Feeding him the right food. Now he able to think better. You see what I'm saying? He not clogged up, not only physically, but mentally too. So it's like, it's a hand-to-hand thing. I'm becoming God. You becoming God. But we on two different paths of it coming into one. You the feminine expression of God. I'm the masculine expression.
Do you think that's what marriage is? Like,
hell yeah. Okay. Hell yeah. Do I think that's what people do? Hell nah. Hell nah. Like, they make marriage look bad. So I don't necessarily get on the young brother or sister saying I don't want to get married. I feel you because you've been having bad examples. I think you should get married as early as you can. Of course, to the right person. Don't just rush into the bull crap. But when folks say, I'm straight, I ain't trying to get no wife. I damn near had the same thought process at one time. You said before I came into a high knowledge. So I don't trip on it, but I think if they had better examples, they would be able to look at marriage in a different light. Let me ask you this. Why do you think people are so unhappy in their marriages or get divorced so often?
Something internal. I read about that. I read The Power of Your Subconscious Mind.
Okay. Oh, I ain't never read that.
Yeah. I feel like people go through divorce and stuff like that. And all that stuff is because something like they got married for the wrong reasons.
Okay. You know? What do you think is the wrong? Ooh, this is a good question. What do you think is the wrong reason to get married? All right, y'all. We're going to bring this episode to a close. Make sure y'all tap in with me on the next episode of Don't Be a Viking podcast. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll holler at y'all. Yes, sir, Ski.